All right, you're going to want to pay attention to this because something huge is going on, kind of behind the scenes in the market. This is the story of how big money just cannonballed into the Ethereum treasury game. And trust me, the players involved, you might not see them coming.
So first up, the biggest, most established bank in all of America. And then you've got a name that's basically synonymous with disruptive, forward-thinking tech. And the third one, this is the real shocker. It's a quiet giant in asset management, a company that has been historically very anti-crypto. So you have these three titans all placing this enormous bet on the exact same crypto stock. So the big question is, what is this stock and why are they all piling in right now? Let's get into it. So what we're really looking at here is this triangle of flow of institutional cash, right? You've got these three completely different financial giants all pointing their money at one single crypto stock. And that stock is BitMine Immersion Technologies, ticker BMNR.
Okay, so let's start with JP Morgan. You gotta understand, for a legacy bank like them, this isn't just another trade on the books. No, this is a major strategic pivot. They're basically using this public company as a bridge, a way to get huge, compliant exposure to Ethereum, but without all the regulatory headaches of actually holding the crypto themselves.
And the amount of money we're talking about, it's just staggering. I mean, in their latest filings, they just quietly revealed they own almost 2 million shares of BMNR. That's worth about $102 million. Look, when the biggest bank on Wall Street makes a 9-figure bet like that, it's not just noise. It's a massive signal, you know? It validates the entire idea. All right, now for our second player, Cathie Wood's ARK Invest. And if you know ARK, you know they are all about making these big, high-conviction bets on game-changing technology. And this move? It's classic ARK. So ARK has been buying this up piece by piece for a while now. And after their latest buys, their total stake is up to about 6.85 million shares. We're talking $262 million. To put that in perspective, that makes BMNR one of ARK's top 15 holdings. It's right up there with their big bets like Tesla and Coinbase. That's how much they believe in this. And Cathie Wood herself summed up their strategy perfectly. She called it a position for the tokenization age. See, for her, this isn't just about buying a stock. It's about owning a piece of Ethereum's future, a piece of what could become a global settlement layer for everything. Okay, and now for the one that made everyone's jaw drop. The move nobody saw coming. Vanguard. I mean, this is the company famous for being anti-crypto, for blocking access to Bitcoin ETFs. And yet, here they are. They filed a position of over 5.6 million shares. That's about $222 million worth. But what's really fascinating is how they did it. This wasn't some big, flashy announcement. Nope. It was a quiet allocation, just spread across their massive index funds. It's a passive buy, for sure, but it's an absolutely enormous vote of confidence. So when you step back and look at the whole picture, you see it, right? This powerful triangle of flow. You've got more than $500 million coming from a legacy bank, a tech visionary, and a super conservative asset manager. And all of it is pouring into the exact same crypto proxy stock. So, okay, this is the crucial part. We need to understand what they're actually buying here. Like, what is it about BMNR that makes it the perfect vehicle for these giants? Because let me tell you, it's probably not what you're thinking. BMNR is what's called an Ethereum treasury vehicle. And this is a really, really important distinction. Their business is not mining crypto, not at all. It's all about buying and holding huge amounts of Ethereum and then generating yield from it through staking, which, is basically like earning interest just for helping secure the network with the ETH they already hold. Let's make this super clear. Think of it this way. On one hand, you have BMNR. It's like a digital vault that's constantly earning interest on what's inside. And on the other hand, you have traditional miners who are doing all this heavy computational work. See? Two totally different business models. And Wall Street, they chose the vault. So, how does this one stock become such a big deal? Well, this whole thing is way bigger than just a single company. We could be looking at a potential liquidity wave here, something that could ripple across the entire crypto market. Okay, here's the number that this whole strategy is built on. BMNR holds over 3.4 million Ethereum. Just let that sink in for a second. 3.4 million. To give you some perspective on that,
This one single publicly traded company holds almost 3% of the entire supply of Ethereum. That gives them a massive footprint in the whole ecosystem, and it makes them a seriously leveraged bet on where the price of ETH goes next.
And that's where the bigger picture comes in. You've got guys like Tom Lee from Fundstrat, who's been consistently calling for ETH's next big run, somewhere between $7,000 and $15,000. Now, if he's even close to being right, can you imagine what happens to a company that's sitting on 3% of all the ETH in existence? We're talking about an absolutely explosive revaluation.
So, why does any of this matter to you? Well, a few big reasons. First, these massive buys create a sort of price floor for the stock, one that's anchored by serious institutional money. Second, it's injecting hundreds of millions in fresh liquidity into the market. Third, it totally validates this whole ETH treasury idea as a legit mainstream asset class. And finally, and maybe most importantly, it creates that clean, compliant bridge for traditional finance to get exposure to ETH without actually having to touch the crypto itself.
So, what's the big takeaway here? I think it's that we're literally watching a powerful new bridge being built right before our eyes. A bridge connecting two completely different financial worlds, traditional finance and decentralized digital assets.
Look, this isn't just a few random speculative trades. This triangle of flow coming from three of the biggest names in the game is a powerful, almost coordinated signal. It's a huge validation. It's them saying, yeah, these digital asset treasuries, they're going to be a core part of the financial system from now on.
And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question, right? For years, the whole crypto mantra has been, not your keys, not your coins. Self-custody is everything. But if the biggest players on Wall Street are now choosing to own crypto through a stock, what does that really mean for the future of ownership in this space?